What does the general public think of party games? Do we scream when we look one in the eyes from trauma? Yeah. Mario Party 3. The best part. Being the third party, this game has learned a lot from its older siblings. New characters, 3 item slots, better minigames and boards, just more refined than 1 or even 2. On the topic of Mario Party 1, something they brought back was single-player minigames. But they're called item minigames now? Technically, 2 had these as well, but there's a proper set of them rather than being 1 for each board. Duel minigames were similarly realized, but as great as these are, I don't think duels themselves were fully realized until you could bet stars on them, like in 5. I guess I can talk about the rest of the minigames now if you'd like. They're good! They're so good! Maybe a bad apple here and there like MPIQ, but the overwhelming majority of these are some of the best in the series. Not all the rest are showstoppers, but a good chunk are. If anything, it's a better ratio than most parties. Well, the battle minigames are actually kinda lame, I guess. Storm Chasers, Eyesore, and All Fired Up are awesome, but I want to take the guy who made Slapdown out back. And 2 luck-based minigames? 1 is fine, even if it's battle minigames we're talking about. But keep in mind, there's just 8 of them. Not like the rest are hits either. A lot of the 4-player minigames are, though. I could rattle off a bunch of them right now. I will rattle off a bunch of them right now. Like Snowball Summit, Toadstool Titan, Aces High, Chip Shot Challenge, Rockin' Raceway, Waterworld, and Awful Tower, which I don't think is so awful. The rest are mostly good. Except when the beat goes on.
No! Buzzer!
There's a good balance of 2 versus 2 games here. Can't talk about Mario Party 3 without bringing up Eats a Pizza. Too bad nobody brought dipping sticks. The rest are fine. I like a good logjam now and again. 1 versus 3s. Ridiculous relay. And the rest. I didn't talk about 1 versus 3s here because, why bother? They're all gonna be unbalanced as usual. Maybe include this part, maybe don't, I don't know. Oh, Game Guy! He's a guy, I think he plays games even. When you land on Game Guy, you'll put all your coins on the line and play one of 4 luck-based minigames. One of them you'll probably win, one of them you might win, one of them you could win, and one of them you won't win. There's actually a side mode dedicated to getting 1,000 coins just from playing these games. I wouldn't mind seeing Game Guy come back, especially in a game where the coin star is absent. Finally, rare minigames, which
I couldn't be bothered to talk about.
Overall, a solid lineup of minigames, no doubt. But wouldn't it be lame to have good minigames and not so good boards? Well, hey, guess what? Not a single bad board in this game. Dead serious. No fooling. Let's look at it. Chilly Waters, a fairly standard map with some movement-based events and plenty of junctions. I don't think it does much to stand out from the crowd, though. There's this lake in the middle you can only have 1 guy on at a time, and you might get trapped there. It's a bit clever. It's a good enough first board. Deep Blue Sea is like if they made 2 smaller boards, but put all the cool shit on top. Do not be mistaken, these are not 2 different boards. This big fish says so. This shark makes you slam a button across here, and if you get shot, you have to go the other way. Not that interesting, but this stinker right here can screw you over anyway. Oh, and listen to this music! Spiny Desert. Oh, this one's nutty, let me tell you. There's 2 stars, but from the delirious danger of these dehydrated dunces. One of them is a mirage. This makes magic lamps on this board better than usual. About as movement-based as Chili, I'd say, if you don't get stuck in the sand. I used to hate this board because of the fake star thing going on, but honestly, I feel like your movement options kinda makes up for it. Woody Woods is decent enough. It's movement based like a few other boards, but unlike a few other boards, it's more restricted with that movement. I don't exactly like having less options when it comes to movement, but I like this board more than Luigi's Engine Room, which had a similar gimmick. Music here is good too, take a listen. This board nails the atmosphere, I think. It hits right, I don't know how to explain it. That being said, it's probably my least favorite. I just can't get past the lack of movement options here. It's still pretty good, which speaks for the overall quality of the boards in this game, doesn't it? Creepy Cavern, much like Deep Blue Sea, is split into two halves. I like it more here since you can go out of your way to actually go from one side to the other. Sure, there's some happening spaces that chase you to the other side, but you actually have to go out of your way to land on them. More often than not, you'll actually have the option to not land on a happening space.
Post-edit Arab here. In the script I originally said that this board was generic, but upon looking at the map, this couldn't be further from the truth. Just look at how pretty this place is. I think my opinion of the map was soured by the fact that this was actually the last board I played recording for this video, and I was kinda tired of playing Mario Party. This place looks fucking sick.
Finally, Waluigi Island. Waluigi's actually kinda sorta the final boss of this game, if you don't count the Millennium Star. Look at him kick Bowser's ass! Anyway, this board's awesome. There's a little island where all the spaces change every turn, a big bomb in the middle of the board that blows up all your coins. The rest is fine. Look what they did to Luigi's house. This place is goofy and mean. With the multiple branching paths and not many spaces on each of them, you'll get back to the start pretty fast, which makes the bomb area kinda like a hub of sorts. It's funny. I like this board a lot. There's dual boards too. I didn't play all of them for the recording, but they're significantly shorter than the standard game. Without going into too much detail, you start with a partner and you fight with them until you run out of cash. You can get more partners later, and some of them have cool, neat perks. Minigames only pop up when you land on a minigame space, or you pass this knucklehead enough times. There's way more to dual boards. It's basically its own game, this thing. For me, music is one of the most important aspects of a game, and this party is packing heat in that department. I already mentioned a few songs, but let's listen to some minigame music. There's this awesome track that's exclusive to dual boards and story mode. Good stuff, yeah? Maybe it's because I grew up with this game, but I can't get enough of these tunes. I saved the best bit for last. Items! I won't go through all of them, but there's definitely some worth mentioning. The Cellular Shopper lets you call one of 2 available item shops in the game. Since you may be passing a shop soon and it doesn't turn out to be the one you want, you can use this as a safety net. In general, having an item shop wherever you go is never a bad option. For 5 coins, basically being able to control what items you get, that's a steal.
So this one time this dumbass bitch started talking about Boo Repel Land, but cut out the part where she starts talking about it. The rest is here though.
Having a bunch of stars and feeling good about it? Isn't that great? Everyone's probably gonna hate you now though. Whoops. I think they could have improved on this item actually. I think having Boo Repellent should disable you from using Boo. I think it would balance it out a bit, make it not as one-sided. The Wacky Watch sets the game to have 5 turns left, turn after you use it. Literal game changer right here. You can make a 50-turn game into a 15-turn game. We'll never have anything this bonkers again, but it's nuts they did this to begin with. Admittedly, the Bowser phone is a bit niche. Landing on Bowser isn't so bad in this game, actually. The worst that can happen is losing some coins, but you don't want to call Bowser to lose coins, do you? Sure, you're supposed to use it to screw other players over, but since Bowser's a lot more passive in this game, there's just one reason you would want to call Bowser, and that's for the pity money he gives to players who are flat broke. It's so cool being able to get creative with the tools this game gives you. That's just scratching the surface, though. There is one item that you can bend to your own will for control of basically the whole world, really. Grovel in its presence. The reverse mushroom. Just miss a star because you didn't have enough cash? Reverse. Want to see Boo again? Then again? Reverse. Want to go back to the item shop and get another?
Reverse, reverse!
For a measly 5 Mario doubloons. This thing isn't broken, it's tattered, worn, ripped apart, shattered, and shredded all at once. Oh, and you can use it on someone else if you want to lose, I guess. I really like this game, okay? I doubt I've managed to convince you that this is the best party of them all. There's other greats like 6 and 7, but I don't think anything's ever going to top 3 for me. Great set of boards, even better minigames, and a massive improvement to the items that change the series. Even if we don't get to see most of these guys return. I hear it'll be on NSO before long, so once it is, grab some pals and yell at the finest party there is. Or spend absurd amounts of cash to get a physical copy. You and I both know there's an easier way to play, though. That's it.